In this video, we'll be scraping a website and turning it into an API. We'll be using Simple Scraper, Parabola, and we'll be scraping Scrape This Site. The first tool we'll be using is Simple Scraper. You can install Simple Scraper at simplescraper.io. You'll need to be using Google Chrome in order to install it. The second tool we'll be using is Parabola. You can create an account at parabola.io. We'll be using this to call the API we create in Simple Scraper. The third tool we'll be using is Scrape This Site, specifically scrapethissite.com/pages/simple. We'll be scraping the data on this web page and turning it into an API that we can call for data. For convenience, I've timestamped this video in the description, and so you're aware of the legalities of scraping, I've linked a helpful article there too. To begin, go to scrapethissite.com/pages/simple. Open the Simple Scraper extension, and once you've done that, click the plus sign. It will allow you to select the first piece of data you want to scrape. First, we want to scrape the name of every country. Everything which gets highlighted in green is what will get scraped. Let's name this piece of data country, and click the tick to set it for when we run the scraper. Second, we want to scrape the capital of every country. So again, we click the plus sign, and if we go to the capital and select that, you'll see everything that gets highlighted in green, and that is what will get scraped. Let's name this piece of data capital, and click the tick to set it for when we run the scraper. Click View Results to run the scraper. Once Simple Scraper has run, it will return the selected data. We must now save the settings for this scraper, then we can access the API. To save the settings for your web scraper, click Save Recipe. On this page, you'll be prompted to complete the following settings. Recipe name, let's give this recipe a name of Capitals of Countries API. URL, we can leave that as it is. Selected properties, country and capital. We selected these properties when we went through the initial scraper setup. And page navigation, we can leave that as it is. Once you've done that, click Create Recipe. Your recipe should appear under My Recipes. Click onto it. Along the top, find and click Run Recipe. As before, the scraper will run and return the data on the results page, which we are currently in. Of course, it takes varying amounts of time depending on the amount of data. We can now switch over and begin setting up Parabola. Upon logging into Parabola, the first thing you'll want to do is to create a new flow. For the purposes of this project, let's title this flow Capitals of Countries. To access our API, we must first find the pull function to pull from an API. We want to place that onto our canvas, and once you've placed it onto your canvas, you'll want to open up the settings. First, we'll want to set the request type to GET. Reason being, we want to retrieve data. Second, for the endpoint URL, you want to go back to Simple Scraper and click API. Then, copy the API key and go back to Parabola and paste it into the API endpoint URL. The parameters for accessing the API have been provided within the URL. Hence, we can click Show Updated Results. However, you may notice that the data will get represented in a single row. To expand this data, we must click Response JSON and then select the top level key. Again, click Show Updated Results. Now the data will have expanded. From here, you can work with your API further in Parabola. Perhaps you'd like to filter the data, export it to Google Sheets, or one of the many other things. But we've accomplished our goal. We've turned a site into an API with no code. This project is now complete. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this no-code project, please give this video a like. And if you want to be notified of the latest projects that I publish every week, please subscribe. I'll see you in another no-code project.